Hello, everybody. Welcome. Is the sound is okay? Lot of thing to do tonight. Starts to the main topic about automation, transponders, and Datalink. It's a big subject. There is a lot of things to say. Thanks, Dan Street for the feedback on the sound. If there are any trouble, let me know. Stream by stream, I begin to make better things, but it's not my job. Great, thanks. I will just wait 1 or 2 minutes for the late guys. If you have any question before that, let me know. I will present you what LotAtc will do beyond or you can Jones. Oh, quite two big sounds. Hi, Quidzy. Welcome to the stream. We will start. So the goal tonight is to present how LotAtc is working on automation, how you can configure and use it. There is a lot of settings for that, and I try to make them better now. I think it's more automatic than before, but I have some question about that, so I decided to do this team session so I can show you what we can do, what it's doing. So let's go start. I do some slides to just show you some things. So tonight, automation, transponders, and Datalink, you will see that there's a direct link between these 3 topics. The main things is the automation, or we can classify automatically in LotAtc, and how you can set transponders and Datalink to automatically make the classification. So there, I will say that. Merci, you're back et bienvenue. Welcome to the stream. I try to make the things better. Tonight we'll talk about the current capabilities. Perhaps I could give some things I work on, certainly, because I try to make LotAtc always evolutive. There's a lot of things in the pipe, as we say, but I will mostly talk about the existing features and how you can configure them. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things to discover and to help. So let's start. First, a small disclaimer. We're talking about automation and classification in LotAtc. It's not the real life and not the pretension to say I'm a controller, even if I know a lot of things now since I start this project. But I will talk about what LotAtc can do for you and how you can set it for to be more realist or less realistic. Depends on what you need and what you want. So, what automation? When I talk about automation, I'm talking about the fact that LotAtc is capable to display you the information about any units on the mission or to not display them. LotAtc is working in the inverse way of reality. In reality, you have a lot of plot trawler and you don't know what is it, where you need to have some information about them. It can be from briefing, radio comms, transponders, ESM, Datalink, and a lot of things that help you to know what is this little guy here, who is it? And in LotAtc, it's quite different. As I extract all data from DCS, I have all information, and depending on the configuration of the server, I will remove this data and the information to display you the contact. So in this little example, we have a magic here. We know its type and it is automatically classified because it's a main radar. So we can suppose that the guys inside know where, in which plane they fly. We have a rafale because we are French here. So let's go for the rafale. And the rafale is now here. It's French. Using the Datalink, we know that it's a France, but this guy, we don't know who is it. In fact, LotAtc know who is it, but you decide to don't display them, and it's pending mode, so you need to classify it. To do that in reality, you will need all this data here and a lot of information to be sure that the guy is a friend or not a friend, if it's an hostile or perhaps a civilian, we don't know. You need to get all the information around that to do that. It's something you can do in LotAtc because we can use the briefing, the radio comms using SRS. Or you have also the transponder, but we'll talk about that later. The ESM, so electronic surveillance measure, and also the Datalink, of course, and that's why we'll talk about that tonight. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to. It's not a course, so I will be happy to answer during the stream. So in LotAtc, you can classify a unit using different ways. There is this by right-clicking on it or in the selection properties. You can also use hotkeys. That's the tips, the first tips to help you to classify that. We will see that in a second. And you can set classification and dimension and subdimension. So for each pending, you need to know if it's firstly an air, so it can be a plane or an helicopter or something on the ground, etc., etc. So it's the simplest things, but then you need to know if it's a now, friends, neutral, or hostile. And then when you do that, you can go further to say, okay, it's a friend fighter or an enemy in patrol or something like that, and help you to have a good CTAC of the tactical situation of the theater you are, And this is the work we will talking about, the automation. Let's try a little demo on that with our simplest things. So let's go there. I've got my TCS. I will just launch the test mission. And we'll see what is it. Parallel, you can see I have my LotAtc here. We are on the 251, the last test versions. Okay, and now I will just switch to the F10 view, go in spectator, and we will go back here in LotAtc. So here, automation is set to be fully and complete. So as you see, we are already all the data for all the units on the map. That is the most complete automation you can have. We will see how to set that. And with that, you have all information about all units. Can be the sea, the air, enemy or not. And it is the most simplest way to do that, but it's not realistic. But it's very useful on server that has not a lot of controllers, and make the classification can take a lot of time. And in this way, you have already all the work done. So you can just concentrate you on the work of a controller GCI and just give orders to your pilot. So in this way, you see everything is already classified. You have no work to do, but at any moment, you can reclassify anything. If it's not a fighter, but why not a seed? You can change the seed, and it's automatically shared with all controllers on the server. And voila. Same for you for the enemies. You can anytime change the classifications. It's not a problem. The work of automation is only done at the first time. So when a contact appears, the classification is done by LotAtc following the settings we will see later. And then once the automation is done, you can change it at any time and as you want. And for the French, as you see, there is Bill engine, of course. That's the first easiest things, but you can go further. And for that, we can go back here, just stop the mission, go in the configuration. So here in my LotAtc configuration, I will go to my profile, and in automation, I've got the settings. That's the main settings for the automation. It's now all compiled in only 3 sectors, one for each side. So for your friends, neutral, and for the enemy. It depends of your connection. If you are on blue, friends will be all the blue plane, neutral, and enemy all the red. But if you connect by with the red, of course, this apply for all the reds, etc., etc. So here, as you see, a first demonstration, I put everything on all, but you can say, okay, no, I only want the ground radar, and I consider that all friends are already classified by a previous controller or the size or the mechanism. And now I just change that, and I can directly relaunch the mission. These parameters are read at the mission start and not at the server restart. So let's go there, go back to the go spectator, and let's go to the LotAtc, and now you will see that it will bit different. So here we are always our blue contact that are classified because I say for all. Here it's a radar and I say I want ground radar nose. And now as you see, the fighter here that was red because we see that before is now in pending mode because we say that. If you want to know which is the settings you are currently use, you can click here on the show server settings, go into profile, automation, and you have all the current settings of the server. That is the real settings that is transmit to the client at the connection. So you can see that for friends, it's for all, and for all, it's main radar unit. So you can only try to begin the classification work by only classify the enemies. So I can do here and I can do the F2 button that will make them enemy at start. If this contact disappears behind a mountain or outside the radar coverage, you will lost this information. And if after a time, all will be reset and the contact will be pending the next time you'll see it. You'll see them. This is this setting here, the tracking of delay. So here, if contact disappear, 15 seconds after this disparition, all will be resetted and you will see a new contact instead the good one. We consider that below this value, the system is capable to associate the lost contact to this new contact. But you can, of course, set them in the settings. So let's go further. We can now stop again my server. Okay. And we can say, no, I only want pending everywhere. So now only the main radar units, so the AWACS, the SAMs, and the ships of the friends will be classified and other will not. For this demo, I'll just deactivate Datalink at this time because Datalink will help classification and we will see that later. So let's go. Let's run. So it's the sun mission. Oh, sorry. I connect to my server and now the work is done and everyone will be pending except the radar we know. So the main radar, the E3, because it's AWACS. And even this one, because it's too small, it's not a big radar, and everything. So in this case, as you see, you lost the classification, the name, and the tip, so you don't know which aircraft is it. So you have to do the work yourself and say, okay, it's a fighter, and which type it is, I don't know, I can't remember, but let's go, it's why not? Not AWACS, why not FCC? And you can do the classification. All controllers will get them. So helping with the contact and the radar, you can affect name and everything on the contact and do the classification yourself. So it's yours to know if you want something fully capable to classify everything or only a part or all. That is the base of the automation in LotAtc at this step. Is there any questions about that? We'll go further in a minute. So it's not the same job. You need more work because each time a plane is take off from friend's airbase, you have to classify that. So you can use the first hotkeys, so the F4 K, for example, to classify it. And then when you get them by radio, you can fill the name and while not the type of the aircraft, and do all the classification manually, as it's done in real life, of course. That's another job. Yeah. Okay. So here, that's what is doing when you fill this value. For each you are for all, so all units are classified automatically, as we see in the start. For only main radar units, so all AWACS, big SAMs, more than 5 kilometers of radar range by default. That's the value that can be changed also. And all ships, same ships with radar. You can set only the ground radar unit, so same than above, but without all plane, so essentially AWACS. And you can say for node, so no unit will be classified. And in this case, there is a bit some change before the last one. If we relaunch it again, yep. Let's switch to LotAtc, connect, load. So the main platform is always classified, as I said before, because we are virtually inside, but all your other units are pending. So here, no information about this one, this guy, for example. The only classification is for airport because we stand that airports are known. But for any other units, it is totally pending, so you have to classify yourself all the data. And that's it. I hope it's helpful to understand how working these three information there. And now we can go further and see what we can do using Transponder and Datalink to help this part when you are only using this. I will just switch there. To information when you are in arcade mode. In fact, it's for all, always. Same for basic, if I can remember. No, okay. For enemy, it's only main radar. So all over for all. And then when you go in realistic, it's the same way, only ground radar units. And it's the main difference between realistic and advanced realistic. In advanced realistic, you will see all classification to do manually. So the differences, the essential difference between the realistic and advanced realistic profile is the classification of the friends. So in realistic, you have not need to classify your own units. In advanced realistic, you have to do. Let's back there. So now let's talk about the following. So as we say, it can be manual, automatic. Server configuration is by coalition, so that's why I said before, just to remember. And what is in what it's inside the automation feature in LotAtc is the capability to use different things. The information about the radar, is it a main radar or not? The IFF, so the transponder, we will see that in the next minute. Same for the transponder files, that's an interesting feature that very helpful on the server. And the data link itself. So using all these inputs, the LotAtc server decide to classify or erase, reset the units before sending to the clients. So that it's why, depending on the previous settings here, you will be different display at the end on the server. So let's go to the transponder. Transponder, so IFF, is used in both different way. First one is for the AI unit, so the computer unit. It's direct from DCS. There's nothing to do inside, and it's only based on the unit name. For example, if you call the name bones with this special feature here at IFF.11123FR, it will say the bones have an IFF of the mod 1 is 11 and the mod 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the mod 4 is active and enabled. You have all the documentation on the web page here. Here, there is different way to set that. It depends if you are using script with Moose or not. If you are using script to dynamically create the unit, use the arrow bars instead of the JS, because there is some conflict. So you can use either the one or the other. And you can set all the mods available in LotAtc, the 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have the format, it's standard format. And you have some example here. So you can set only the mod 3 and 4, or only the 3, or the 1 and the 3, or the 2 and the 3, as you want. You can set every things at the moment you are using this format here. So all the AI units will be automatically set on transponder with that. Be careful, because it's not the group name, it's really the unit name, because each unit can have its own transponder. For example, let me show you an example. This one, as you see, I put here the IFF there. So I put this IFF in the period name. The good thing is that if the string is recognized by LotAtc, it will be scrapped. So in LotAtc, you will only see the real name and not that. The subject is quite complex, but the IFF syntax is also supported by the F15E with Raspbian. They start to support the same things, so the IFF should be read by the plane also. If you put with this format, it could be great to have that in all plane, but it's currently only supported by the Raspbian F15E. Don't need to put them in group name, it will not work, only in the pilot name. Okay, so let's continue for this part. So that is for the AI, and for the human, it's quite different. You have to use SLS. Why? Because you are show you, yeah, here. So sorry, and that's it. Yes, or not? Yeah, work. So in fact, the way it's working, you have DCS here with LotAtc server up. That's running there, and you have on one side the LotAtc client that are standalone and connected here, and you have the DCS pilots that are connected here. So of course there are several. Yeah. When you set the transponder, you set it locally, and it is sent to DCS, but internally we have not access to that, and on this way there is no API to get them. So the only way to have them is to find a way to get this value and send them there. And when I work on that, I'll talk with Siri Bob, and Siri Bob tell me, oh, that's something I already have, so why not connecting to the SRS server? That's here. That is connected with the SRS client here on each pilot. And then the transponder value is sent to the SRS server. And then there is a connection internal between the LotAtc server and SRS server, where LotAtc is capable to get all transponder settings set in cockpit, and then integrate them in LotAtc server. And once it's done, you can see the transponder here. So you need to use SRS. It's the only way we're going to have that. So same way, there is some extra steps to set on the LotAtc on the DCS SRS server. You can see that in the doc. You need to enable the export. It uses an internal port, but as this port is inside the server, there are no need to open it in the firewall. It's locally, so it's only used inside, and the server is there. You can change it if the SRS server is not on the same computer, but you need to respect that value. By default, it will work if you have not changed anything. It will work just by clicking there. Yes. So on my computer, on the server, I have enable here, and it's done. Nothing to do more. I have my here, and now if I take a mission with transponder, for the mod 2, the mod 2 is not is should be working with SRS, but I think there is I can't remember. I think SRS is using it. It should work. That's a good question. I have not yet verified since a moment if it's working. It should working because I know that Siri Bob has implemented it, and I think it sent it to me too. We will try. So it's a mission for tonight. It's very a simple one. There is here on AWACS. There is an I with a transponder. This one, no transponder for the Viking. Here it's my plane on it, so I will use it. And I have set to airplane here. And there is more, but we will see them for the Datalink. Let's go, yes. So I will connect my SRS to the server. So I act as a pilot there. Let's go. I'm in. I will switch on the dual view. It will be easier for you to see the change. I will fly. It's a distant server, so the performance and the visual are not good, but it's not the goal for tonight. So I'm flying my Hornet. My Hornet is here, and as you see, it's only recognized as a friendly because by default in Hornet, the mode 4 is enabled. So if I put a mode 1 and mode 2, turn automatically, as you see, it's display layer. So in these things, we have all the data that go from there and go to there and go to the SRS server, communication with the LotAtc server, and go there after. So as you see, it's a complex thing and some plumbing, but it's works well, and it's very good things to do. And you can also use specific code, as you see, for the ident or for the special code here. That's it. So it works with all plane. If you are using FC3 plane, you can use directly the transponder overlay of SRS. It will work at the same things, and you can easily share your transponder with LotAtc using that. So the only need is to enable this option here. Let's check the mode 2. I have that checks in a minute time, and no, it's in that shared. I will check that. Good questions. I have not checked this since a moment. And not seem to go. I will check that. Okay, so that's good. We'll see that the mode 4, as we see, yes, I asked the correct one also. So here, all units are panning except the 2 blue here, because this one I set the friendly mode 4, and my Hornet, because the Hornet has also the mode 4 enabled by default. So it's automatically classified as blue, but it's still panning because we have no more information on it. So you need to classify it if it's a plane, an helicopter, or something else. This one is also a blue, the TN1000, but he has no transponder mode 4, so we don't know if it's friend or not. So it's still a pending. And this one, no, this one is the blue, and this one has the red. Okay. So that's something very useful. Of course, the transponder is respecting the distance of radio, that it's done by SRS, so you need to have the correct distance between the plane. So when you have two planes and the AWACS, the E3 or anything, you need to respect a certain distance. If you are too far, the IFF will not be in range of the E3, and so it will not classify on LotAtc. So that the distance is managed by the radio concept of SRS, and the classification is done on the LotAc, on the LotAtc side. That's it. So for the settings exactly on the LotAtc side, it's in the config parts, SRS, and you have to have this SRS server by default, and the transponder port is here. So that's the two value. By default is set by the correct default value. So if you have changed nothing on the SRS side, just enable the feature and it's directly working on any server. There is no links with the automation or anything else. The value will be displayed directly in LotAtc, as we see before. Next, there are some great things we can do with that. It's the transponder table. So it's the next topic here. So as we see, mode 4, this implementation in French. Thanks. The mode 4 is really simple in DCS because, as you know, it's only need to be on, and if you are in the same coalition in the mission editor, you will be considered as friendly. There is no code or something like that. So I have to respect that to be coherent with DCS. So you only need to be in the same coalition that the radar, and then the mode 4 to be on, and then it's automatically correlated. If DCS change that and use the mode 4 identification with crypto and code, I will evolve that also on my side to something more realistic. But at this time, there is no need because there is no thing in DCS for the mode 4 except the switch on off. That's the only thing. Okay, so now let's go further in the transponder files. That's something I have added some time ago, and some server use them a lot, and I'm pretty sure it's very something interesting. The goal of that is to help, again, automation, sorry, and help the controller to do his job. So we will have a file in standard JSON where we declare some transponder, and we say when the mode 3 is set 1, 2, 3, change the name of the unit to bones 1, 1, change the type to ONET, and change the call sign. If the mode 1 is 2, 3, add a comment on the unit and change this classification. So you can have complex files with a lot of entry, a lot of files. You can have multiple files, one for example, the name, and one for all the mode 1. And it helps you to classify the unit. To show that, we will experiment ourselves with that. Up. Yeah. Okay. I put in my .atc data server transponder blue a file test that I can edit. perhaps it's a bit. Yes, you zoom. Yes, control. Okay. Okay. Perfect. That's it. So it's the same file than on the server. Be careful to enable it, so you can disable enable. It's currently enabled, so it will be read by the server at start. And we have the same settings that in the example. So if I'm basically running my TCS with same mission again, take my hornet. Okay. We'll switch with LotAtc also. So when I connect, we will have the same situation that before, of course. We are here. Okay. So at this time, only the mod 4 is using, nothing all. And I will say, okay, no, my mod 3, it's set 1, 2, 3, enter. And then as you see, automatically we set bones 1, 1, and we say that it's hornet here. And the call sign is PN1, 1. So that is done using these files. It's recognized, and that's done. Same thing there. If I set the mod 1, 2, 2, 3, enter, we see that I am now classified as a fighter and film the command seen on target A. So on your server, you can prepare some mission with all unit classified. Personally, on the squadron I fly on, we have a lot of files with all plane defined with each his own transponder code, and we have standard mod 1 code for the mission to say, okay, it's a seed in zone 1, it's a RR unit or something like that, and automatically we will classify and fill all the data for the plane. It's really useful, and there is some client that have some files with more than 1,000 entries for transponder and classify everything in the mission using this system. It can be tankers, it can be, of course, it will work, I forgot to tell you, but it will work also for the AI unit. So if I put set 1, 2, 3 in the unit name of AI unit, it will classify with the same things. And I can help classify everything we know in the mission using this system. What we can do more with that, you can, you can change a lot of things. At this time, the call sign, the command, you can set the onboard. You can also change the classification field. So as you see, the classification can be only friend or a style neutral or civilian, but you can also define dimension of subdimension. You can go there, yes, the list of all available classification in this topic. So that's something that very useful and can be help. And you can also use this line to add a field that called mission, and that we only call if the mission starts with LotAtc. So all over mission, this file will not be used, but if you have a mission starting with that, it will be automatically applied. That's very a good thing for server with running a lot of different missions. You can have one or several files for each mission with specific things. For example, for the the mission field or something like that. Of course, it is an example. You can set mode 1 to set the classification, but it will work with the mode 3, and there's no limits. There is a special feature, so you can also specify with X here. So all mode with 3x, so 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, etc., etc., will match, and they will all be defined by this configuration. So it's kind of wildcard is, and you can change them and apply value. At this time, you cannot change the label directly. Or you could if you set a name to void, so just a double quote, you will erase the value, but it's controller dependent in the sense of everyone said that, so it will be, for example, this one, if I remove and set void. Yeah. Okay, just come back. You see, you will have something void, so you can set, but there's no way to set a value if nothing is set. The file is constructed to, if you have a value of mode 2, mode 1, or mode 3, then you do that, but there is not the invert thing. So if no mode 2 or mode 3, nothing will be displayed. There will be pending like that, but with a track number automatically generated by the server, but there is no way. But perhaps something we could add, if you have an idea of something like that, of what you want to do with that, let me know on the Discord. I would be happy to talk about that. That's it. So the files, there's two ways to set them. The first one is here in the main LotAtc data. It will be used for all DCS instance working on the server. So everyone will be used there. So perhaps it's the correct way to put some common things. And then you can also add them directly in the mod service LotAtc user DB transponders and the coalition. All the file, for example, here something sent to me by some clients. As you see, there is a lot of data, and just set. So there is two ways, either in the common way in the main LotAtc data, and the specific DCS instance there. There will not be overwrite here except the example I furnished. So do not change the example without rename it. Otherwise, in the time it will be written. And that's it. I think I see all this part. We like that. Of course, yes, for the mission, it uses standard regex. So you can use some online tool if you are not aware of that, or just put that at the end if you wish. I have not talking about, just show you rapidly, but you have special code for transponder for the mod 3. If you put set 00, you would call emergency. So this tree value will be will make the unit blinking in the LotAtc as we see before, so it will be easier. And of course, the ident mode working also, and then we blink also on the screen. So if you have lost someone or you don't know who is talking to you, ask him to put in ident mode, and you will see blinking and on the screen. And that's it. Right. Go on. Is there, before going to the data link part, is there any questions or remarks on the transponder and automation for this part? If you have any idea or something we can expand or add, let me know. As I say, there is all this value you can change, but if there is other value you want to change, let me know. It can be easy added on the things. Okay. QZ, oui. I see that there is Streamlabs feedback. I have said this. It could be an error. Sorry. Okay. Let's go talking about now the data link entry. Okay. We just make the modification for the long message. That's not something I think abuse. Up. If you have any question, just ask. Okay. Okay. Disable mode. You should be able to post long message. Sorry for that. Just a settings on the stream. Okay. You're welcome. Sorry for that. The data link. So next part of the automation process, it will be the data link work. That's a hot topic because that's something that is very important in the modern warfare. But in DCS, it's quite complex because there is an internal data link, and I have no access on that. That's something I ask for years now. Since the start of the Hornet, I would like to access to the data link information to be able to interact with them, and why not send data, receive data from the data link. It could be something a game changer. That's something we have done with Rasbam on the Mirage with the TAF system. That was very a great thing. I don't know if everybody know what was the TAF. It's a special French things that was been not really deployed, but can ancestor of data link. It's daily affichage, and you can send engagement, etc., directly to the user. And I made some video on it, but you can directly, controller can send directly a bra on the MFD of the Mirage directly from LotAtc. That's something really, really cool. And I would love to do the same things with the modern planes, but at this time it is not possible. So I have to do an independent data link from DCS with the benefits and the disadvantage that is. But no choice on it. So what I have done, I have created a simulation of the data link that is creates a network of units in the same zone that are in the same network. And when they are in the same network, they can share information about the payload, the fuel, the radar, the electronic information about what is around, and also the data, so the name, the type, and you see the link with the automation coming. So to be very simple, I will just show. I love to do some drawing. As you see, I'm very good at drawing. So the idea is to have the plane. You have several planes that are on the field, and you have, for example, the AWACS here. And if the AWACS is able to communicate with all the contact inside this area, it will build automatically a network with all units that have data link, of course. Not all units have data links. We'll see that in a minute. But if all units have data links, we can create a network. And then if this one and sorry, you don't see. If this one and this one have the range and can communicate, you can create another network here and then communicate. And with that, you can create a full network of data link all over the warfare and move them and share the information. So all the information you have here will transit to the data link and be able on the AWACS and sent to the LotAtc clients in fine. So let's make a demonstration of that. So let's go to our test mission. I will now enable the data link. So in data link, I will just activate it. Yes, for sure, the TAF is really a great feature and a game changer. So in the data link, you have some settings. The first one is on off. The second one is the data link periods. It's the delay between two data link updates. More the value is important, less impact in performance can be have on the server, of course, because we need to build the network and we'll also to share data. So it could take some time, even if I do a lot of optimization on that. It has at an impact. It can be generally negligible, but it can have. And you can select which unit have data link, no data link. So there's data link, but no unit. All coalition units, so every unit, even a MiG-21 has a data link. And you can select only the coalition unit with a simple data link or the full L716 data link. So here you have the Tomcat and here Hornet and Viper. So you can choose the release you want. And that's all. It's working for the AI and also the human pilots. And it's, I repeat, totally managed on LotAtc with no impact with on the data link in DCS. So even if you switch off the data link in the DCS, I am not aware of, so I continue to make the data link. That's the limit of the system. So just to enable that, there's nothing more to do. Just relaunch no things. Well, no, you need to take a plane up, then and go on my LotAtc. I'm connected. And now I will show you. So same situation. And as you see here my AWACS that communicate with the unit here. This one curl is just at the limit, but it's in communication with this one, so information is used. And this one is in communication with this one. The DR here say, okay, it's only a Datalink plot. It's not seen by any radar. And this one. So here you have this link, and this link for the Datalink. And as you see, automatically all airplane here are identified with the data link. So all data, the name, the chip, and their radar. And also here, as you see, this one is seeing this hostile air, so it's shared in the network. And even if this OKI cannot see this one because it's too far, it will be seen through the data link system to this one. If we lost this aircraft or lost this one, you will of course lost all the data and all the gain inside. So you can rapidly use if you go back there. If we lose this unit, you will lose everything. That's the game. Sorry. And this plane, we can see also that a payload is transferred. So you have the fuel consumption for this one, and same for this one. And we also, yeah. This one can see this plane is MiG-31, sorry. And sometimes it's, okay, you receive some radar units. We see here the MiG-31. And the information is sent to the AWACS that is now displayed on LotAtc screen. It's only using the data link that information can go there. It works for all units. Of course, the cruiser has Datalink 2, so it also use that. And you have for each aircraft all the information. So I just forgot to put some things that could be interesting to show also. Let me edit rapidly the mission. Okay, I am Major. Felicitation. If this one, I put some payload. Okay, this one too. Okay, side mission. Okay, yes. And relaunch. See also when a human inside. Okay. Up. Now I can go side. So there's some time before all information is filled. Okay, so that is the data we have at the start. When the fuel appear in some seconds, the time the data is sending aircraft to aircraft, we will have the information in real time. So if the plane shoots a file, a missile or bomb, it will disappear from its payload. It's also real time as the fuel. At this time, okay, the information is there, and as you see, there are no more the fuel. Everything is there, and we have in real time the payload. So the payload is sending to the data link to here. It's also shared, so we see the sensor information, radar, and electronic. So everything is shared through that. And sorry, retro. Retro Jim? What do you want? Not sure to understand the question. Ah, okay, sorry. I understand. Not the correction. Sorry. My bad. Yes. Sorry. The time. There is delay between I see the message and I understand to my brain. End of the day. Thank you. Okay, so if I click there, as you see, there is the fuel as we see previously, but also you have the payload in real time. So we see that it's the payload under the plane. And if I go to my plane here, okay, I forgot to add the payload, but if I drop or jettison them, that will be automatically updated here. So it's a good way for controllers to know the status of the fighters and the plane. You see the fuel and what is under the wings and what you can do with them, or if it's time to send them to refuel and rearming. So at this time you have the fuel bar. It means that the Datalink is operational and sent to the topic, and the update is every 5 to 10 seconds. Like sometimes, depending on the number of communication relay you need. Inside each airplane can be a relay to the data. So here we have one data, one relay, two relay, and the AWACS. So that's how it works internally. When you're using generator, LotAtc generator, as we see in the previous stream, you can go further, and you can also disable directly the relay function, the information function, or the data function, so you can activate or deactivate the feature. For DCS, there is not such granulometry. I just consider that a plane that have data link can act as a relay also. Perhaps that's something I will add in the future if asked. Not sure we go there. And as you see, previously my plane was not classified. It is now classified because I have the data link. I am in data link because certainly I am underway the AWACS. Yes, the AWACS is... yeah, I am certainly at the bad altitude. And yeah, in the mountain. Yeah, let's go. I am quite a good pilot of Hornet, but not on my keyboard, because I don't do that with my keyboard. Yeah, I will certainly change there, and we be detected by the U2. Oh no, the U2 is dead. Oh, that's not good. Okay, that's it. Yes. So the Datalink simulation is that. Thank you, Marco. Always a pleasure to share how it works. I know that LotAtc can be obscure sometimes on some feature. I'm trying to put the documentation updates, but I am a bit late on that. Even if I work on a new documentation things, it's not yet ready. So it's the time to do some stream on that. So as you see, data link and automation, if the data link is active, and in the coalition network, if you have a Hornet at 100 of kilometers of any other data link aircraft, it will not work. They must be in the same network, as I explained before. Then you can be classified with all data. So we consider that the plane is now known by the system, and all data can be shared with all other controllers. So using the data link and transponder files, as we see, you can set automation to known or only man radar, and then use the transponders and the data link to make the automation and work. That makes the things very realistic and add a level of realism on the simulation. It depends on what you need, what you want, and what is the mission. But it's something you should try. It's very interesting. For server performance, I know that on some very large server, the performance are important. The transponder are no impact on the performance. It's very low process things, and only change are sent between DCS server and LotAtc server, so it's very quiet things. The data link has a small impact if you have a lot of modern aircraft with data link enabled in small part of the area with a lot of data to exchange. It can be have an impact if you have some trouble, that you can try to disable the data link. As you see, it's really something easy to do. Just go in the configurator and just disable that. That's done, and see if it's the reason. I'm very interested if you have a big difference in performance you see with and without, because I always work to optimize everything in the server. So let me know if you see that the data link has a visual impact in your case. That's something I'm very interested in to work on. It will show engagement message between fighters and target. Not yet, for the same reason I have not yet the information. I know that TagView can display that. He has some algorithm that run to find that. Perhaps that's something I will add later. But at this time it's not done for DCS. But something clearly I would like to add, but there's not easier way to do that with DCS, because there is no API to call to get that information. There is an export that give you, but it's only work for the old F-15C, I think. It does not work for any other aircraft. But if there are a way to get that information, I will be happy to add that and add some visual. But at this time, there is no way, as far I know, to get that information. But for sure, it could be a great addition if we see that. As I said, I dream to be able to communicate with DCS Datalink and be able to display the same thing we see in the Viper or the Hornet with the A10-2 also, and display the data between all. That's something that will be so great and so immersive, but at this time it is not possible. Be sure I do my best to have something coherent. That's also the work I do for the Datalink, to have something that add some value for the controllers, but do not be considered as a sheet for a PvP server, for example. Of course, it's an evidence, but I prefer to say there is no data link share between the red and the blue. Each simulation is done independently, so the network are totally different, and there is no way to communicate between red and blue. So you can have two data link network with data exchange in the both coalition totally independent. And that's it for this part. I think I have done everything. So to rewind, I have present you how automation can be done in LotAtc, ever in fully automatic with all data displayed and nothing to do. That's a good way to start to control, to learn how to do GCI or ITC, and then you can enable things after things, add some data using transponder files or Datalink to add more immersive, to be more immersive and add something more realistic. You can also separate roles for the controllers. I have one that do only GCI, one that do ATC or ground operation, but also someone that is responsible to classify. That's there is a lot of things to do with that, depending of how many you are to control and also what you want to do. As I always, I hope it was helpful and interesting. Let me know, of course, if this kind of stream is interesting. There is some other subject we can talk about later for the radar simulation or something like that. That's it. And I want to see some question. Is the map for newly? Yeah. The new map. So I am a bit late, as you know. There is a lot of maps that has been out this last month. Basically, every map is supported at the day 0 automatically using the world map. So the biggest one in low resolution, in the sense of it's enough to do GCI but not enough to do ATC. I'm currently working on the new map engine that will be very great. I am very excited to show you the new functionality of that. It's near 1 year of work now. There is a bit work to do, but I think I will be able to talk about that after the summer. Perhaps during a stream, certainly, to present you that. And this new map engine will remove the need to do every airport and deliver biggest map with big package. As you see, there is a lot of gigabyte of maps now, and I will be less. I will take less data, and it's a good thing to have that to have a space, disk space for the CS maps. So it will be great to have this new map engine, and it will also give you new capability, the back of the satellite map and something like that. That's something I work hard on this, and I hope to show you that soon. Yeah, but perhaps I will take some time to deliver doing a better map for Germany. It's quite complex because LotAtc is generally used on a big server, so the big servers doesn't switch on the maps faster, and there is a lot of reason for that. But let me know if you need if everybody switch on the German map. I could perhaps create a last old map for the Germany, waiting for the new map engine. I will see. Perhaps not all airports because there is a lot of airports, but perhaps the main one or something like that. I will see. That's something I'm open with. It takes some time, but it can be done for that. So I take the point on that. Is there any other question about that or any other subject on LotAtc before stopping that stream on the subject? Let me know if you learned something or if it was useful. It's not always easy to know what I can say and what it's too complex or too tricky to say. I read you if you have anything. Okay, great. Very happy to know that it gives you more visibility on this feature. I know there is lack of documentation on it. As I say, a lot of time I have only two ends and a lot of things to do, and the documentation is always something that takes times. But I hope to have something in the next month on that. Yes, I hope also to have an access to the Datalink at one time. To be fully honest, that's something I asked to ED some years ago. They don't say no. They say it's not the priority. So I hope it will be there. LotAtc is really something important in the DCS community, I think, and it could be something great to have the data link connection with them and can interact, especially if we have other modern fighters like Eurofighters or the F-35. That makes sense to have more communication between LotAtc and DCS on that subject. Great. Very happy to see that it was useful. For me, it's the end of the stream, so thank you for being there. Thank you for your support, and I will certainly do a next stream session. I don't know the subject, but if you have something you want to see, just let me know on the Discord or by email. I will be happy to help on subject. Thank you all. Have a good night or good day, depending on when you see it. And goodbye. See you soon. Bye bye.